Okay, so we have a machinist. A machinist repairs and modifies automated system used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. So I will have +1 in engineer and -1 in engage. Chance to gain a random scrap item on engineer in action. Operator. Operator works with drones and high precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleeper assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Chance to gain cryo on intervene action. Extractor work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleeper assigned to extract work often confident, self-sufficient, and then have a high level of endurance. Sunbathe dice action allows energy recover at home. I don't know who I should pick. Do you think I have a pet? I like pets. Oh, another pet. I'm thinking about just doing operator. Just to start. I don't know. Okay. The first thing you become aware of on waking is disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. The first thing it's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from another. The cold slips in, behind and around you, the sensation fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dull nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist this desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just warning delivered with a bundle quality of digital notification. Right now there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited, and once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself into containers, and just hope the freight left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freight, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. But you're restless. It's been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You're dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible. But even then, your body has shut many of its systems down to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of the impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again, recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from the rigor. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and simmering, so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, white as the cold. Then softer and softer until it haze of dirty yellow. A figure appears. You're out. Okay, what just happened? I have no idea. What is this? Dragos. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from that container. You sit huddled in a corner of its scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life. And you stare at the orderly curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ship, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shape with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all found yet? Never seen one of you come in like this. New farmers must have been preserving in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside-outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos come into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. His headset with his glinting eyes that mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotical ring drone perches. Its iris eye looking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in a memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you're just a software, a rogue emulating illegal possession corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cell. The promise of a life off-world, but as you do, you get to now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You're not longer that person. You're offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. As an ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep a hold of you, well then, no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regular administrated supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind, how long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragonus glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the place you could be right now. Eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with it, he trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using up as a storage in the stack. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you are welcome to it. Something wells up inside you. Emotion? Fatigue? You shakingly get to your feet. Alright, you head up on there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the racks, his drone already converging on a rusty hulk. Plasma flashes silhouette his spindly figure as he returns to work. Okay. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to character, explore areas of the station, perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to an empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. You wait, curled up in a corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake up in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know after all this what matters. Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here on the edge of everything. There's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos left a few comforts in the container. Mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some disscented powder. You found the powder stud of the stove and began to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like a damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, the image of your restless sleep comes back to you. A ring like a station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. Constellation of bright polygonal shapes. Like angular suns burning into your mind. There is something unpleasantly visceral about these images. And it's long after you finish drinking that they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Oh, okay. Condition. Okay, could represent the current state of your artificial body. Depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, and lack of food. If your contingent power empties, you will suffer a breakdown. Okay. You will have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Okay. Okay, that's this. 2. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action die. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the less dice you have. Once you have used your die, you cannot take any further action and may rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food and currency to buy it. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving, and your condition will deplete at a double rate per cycle. Oh. Dragos is stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cast of sensory eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hull-downs, sell them off to shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we'll pull out some tech, something with a bit more value. But most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor, and obviously I'll stip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits. These, to pull out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo, isolated from the market, it's what we used to trade out here. He stuffs them back in his pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleeper, well, he trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Of course. Okay, he pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go here. Oh, okay. Repeatable action. Safe. Risky. Okay, whoa. Okay, actions and primary way you interact with the perform action, click and drag a chosen action die to the slot. Oh, okay. Action rewards you with clock progress, energy, condition items depending on the outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive. The action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Okay. Action dice affect these outcomes as follow. 100% chance positive, 50-50. 25-50, 25, 50-50. Ooh. Okay. Type, risk level, and skill. Okay. Either critical or repeatable. Okay. Critical action can only be performed once. Okay. Either safe, risky, or dangerous. Or danger. The skill that this action requires either engineering, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. Okay. Either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action die when slotted and improves its value. Some action requires a +1 to perform. Oh, safe, no. Okay, negative. Okay, I have one of these. Cycle clock. A debt called in. Ties are tied up something ugly, and if he misses payment, the 2 things get nasty. Okay, let me see. So, this needs a this is endure, so it's safe. Yeah. So it changed it. It changed the die. But I can also do this. I can do this as well. It's just 100% positive and it's a risky, so it's Better rewards. Let's do that. Okay, action of and progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clock, such as the one tracking Dragon's Step, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick by themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Okay. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. Ah. Let's try it. Okay, in Citizen you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you to pursue specific object depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drives will place a yellow marker on the location and will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button to the top left of the screen. Okay. You're now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking the drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and wait to recover conditions. Fill clocks to progress story and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Okay. Negative outcome. I lost energy. Shit. That is not good. That is not good. Ooh! Find a doctor. Ask for directions. This is both pretty dangerous. I need a doctor. Oh. It's a cycle clock. What is this? Pay loan toll. This is risky. Shit. I'm starving. Okay, I got local knowledge, but I'm still starving. Oh. Slum doctor. Oh. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Next comes the call from an enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue. Try not to bring attention to yourself. You're thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place. But now you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hat block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without the supply of stabilizers, this body, your body. Oh, you suppress the shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. You lean against the door frame and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by a green indicator of stack of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light flickering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting. Beyond, with blurred shape move. Slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you step inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market-sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. And for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, comes a sharp voice, and you see a silhouette figure turned away, replacing a plastic seat over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their feature. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and quickly regain their composure. Please sit, they gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit, Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to the eye. Few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. Set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm, roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call it, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regulated, injected by stabilizers. One which SNR remain the sole producer of. They look up. Sounds familiar? Yes. Good, that may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you're unsure if they meant for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulation like your sleepers or most people know you. Wait, what? Emulations like you, sleepers, are most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate system. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. And SSR has no reason to release stabilizers into the market. Sabine looks up, as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help, they say, sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside. He works for me. Benefactor. Oh, he works for my benefactor, Yatanga. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But yet, Yatanga has connections, smugglers from the Starboard Belt, mercenaries working for the corporation on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down a slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it will be expensive, but I think we can do it. Yeah, we'll just say thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadow of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the light of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. I'm still starving. This is bad. I have no dice. Okay. Okay, wait. We just end cycle now then? We just have to wait. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station is shifting skeleton rings around you. For a moment you're gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connection begin to establish themselves, thread tugging at the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange, and the extension, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Observe it. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you feel the map of the station? No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It is looped cloud, with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It is an ingrown thing, full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you instantly. As if it were a small child, somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trampling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it's waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it's gone. Okay, so I only have 3 dice now. Yes! Oh. Enter but drink start debating of input. Okay. Oh, new drive discovered. Street food! This is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he laid thick chunks of marinated fungus into the dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with bright salad, depositing it in a plastic trays. A stack of chips rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Despite the queue, Memphis doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing the precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into the bowl of torn leaves and bright slices, before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Memphis remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd and Memphis sets down his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you, watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Free sample? Yes, please. He gestures neatly. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and his skin hardens in its glare. I know you. You're sleepers. Emphasis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life of lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with a piercing eye. I know. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye. He nods as he cooks, his eyes never leave his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had, but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles, but next time you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearm, each surrounding with a constellation of glint pin marks. You walk away, as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicate, sweet fungus. Your taste sensor light up like a fusion reactor. You will be back. Oh, we got food! We got food! Okay. I think we should go here. Oh, yes. Okay. Whew. This is safe, but like if I do it like that, that's just like, no, it's not safe anymore. Do I have to finish the shipyard? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's okay, no. I can't remember what wait, yeah, view character. Oh, wait, I can upgrade? Okay, I took interface and... No. What? I'm an operator. Yes, I have this interface. Okay. Can I go sleep? Yes. And cycle. I don't want to use the cycle if it's a 1. This is really interesting. Yes, it is. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparks with glittering lights, like stars, reflecting in the winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see a bright shapes cast of shimmering light beneath transparent crystals forms. You follow the path of thread across the ring, through these forms, then leaping off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connection, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. Focus on the threads. There are more threads than you can count. You choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread. When you first saw them, they are not single lines, but rough, fuzzy things, woven from data strings of all kinds. These threads are nodes, passages and puzzle boxes. One leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow a path and open the box. You look across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see 2 lines, 2 threads, pulling you in different directions. as if they were tied around you. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep